Alright, in the last lessons we set up our CAN utilities, that's our controller area network utilities. We downloaded and installed ICSim from GitHub, and we did not need to make, so we just CD'd into ICSim and we could list and see that. There's actually a dependency we'll have to change on our Kali Linux if we want to do a full make install. So we're just going to use the ICSim that we cloned from Zombie Craig or Craig Smith's OpenGarages.org account. In this lesson, we're going to see how to start the virtual CAN network. So we will simulate a controller area network or a CAR network right on our Kali Linux box. We'll do that by loading a module into the kernel called vCAN with modprobe, and then we'll just check to make sure that that vCAN is up. Then we will set up, and we'll set up a vCAN network. These will work just like a regular IP network. So we'll say IP link add, and a device will be vCAN 0. It'll be of type vCAN, and then we're going to IP link set up vCAN 0. So we're going to turn on that interface. So we'll create a new vCAN device called vCAN 0 for our virtual CAN network, and then we'll connect to that vCAN 0, and we're going to be able to sniff packets on that vCAN 0, and we can use the CAN sniffer, controller area network sniffer, with the -C so that we can see some color as those things change. And then we're going to actually start the ICSimulator and the controls in two new terminal windows. We'll need 3 windows running to make this work, because we need one for the controller, and we'll always have to click into it when we're trying to change the car's direction or change the unlock and lock the doors, press the accelerator. And then we'll need one for the dashboard so we can actually see the car and see what's happening to it. And then we'll have another window that will show those packets going by, just so we can see that this is a controller area network. So let's switch back over to Kali Linux. And our commands are first to load the ability to do virtual CAN networking. So mod probe. This will load in a kernel module, so this will load live the ability to do virtual CAN networks. Mod probe vCAN, then dmessage. And what we're doing is looking through those kernel messages to see if there's anything else going on. We had a little bit of an error here, but you can see the very last line, because we just loaded it, was a vCAN interface or a virtual CAN interface driver. So I'll clear. So we got our modprobe vCAN and the dmessage checked out to make sure that that is loaded in our kernel. Now we'll do our networking setup for this virtual CAN network. IP link add a device dev vCAN 0 of type vCAN, our virtual CAN network. Now I just need to connect to that network. IP link set up vCAN 0. And now I should be able to run something called a CAN sniffer, or a packet sniffer for controller area network packets. CAN sniffer -C vCAN 0. So I'm running, and this -C just will give us some different colors for when packets change. When I run this in the beginning, I won't see very much in the screen. It's going to just count off some deltas. But I'm going to start a new terminal window. So I'll come to here and do a new window. And you can make these smaller ones, because we're going to run the controllers and we're going to run the instrument cluster simulator. So let's try our instrument cluster simulator. We'll CD into ICSim or ITab, and then we'll run the ICSimulator on virtual CAN network 0 with /ICSIM space vCAN 0. And we actually have an instrument cluster now. So I can drag this down here over the terminal window that's running it. That way we'll keep those together. But notice there's nothing happening on this network because we haven't started a controller. So we're going to right click on the terminal, do another new window. And now we need to run the virtual network controller for our CAN network. I'll make this just a little bit bigger so you can see it. Once again, every time I run a new terminal window, I'm going back to my root, so I need to CD into ITab for our ICSim folder. And I can run controls with /, that means run from this folder, /controls, because this is not in our regular set of folders to run files from, vcan 0. So we're going to run the controls on this virtual controller area network. Look at that. Now we have a controller, and by default it's generating just a little bit of background noise on this controller area network. So if you want to actually drive your car now, click on the CAN bus control panel window, and you can resize it a little bit if you want to, either up or down. I'll leave it about this size. On this controller area network, it says if I hit my up arrow, it should accelerate. Wow, look at that. Do you see our dashboard simulator down here? We are stepping up. It looks like we're going to top out around 100 miles per hour. But we're going 100 miles per hour just by hitting the up arrow. Notice if you do have a PlayStation controller and you know how to connect that up, you can connect in via one of your USB ports and you can actually use that controller while this window, the control panel, is active. If I click over to this window, I'm going to lose the ability to control the car. Notice I can't keep speeding up. So I just click back to my CAN bus control panel. You have to have this window active to try all of these things. So it says to do your left shift. That gives you a lock. Do your right shift. Make sure you're clicking in this window. Do the right shift key and the left shift key. Oh, actually, we need to hold down. So if you hold down your left shift and click your right shift, you see my doors just unlocked. If I hold down my right shift and click my left shift, then my doors lock back. So let's do that one more time. Make sure you've clicked in your CAN bus control panel. You can do your up arrow while you're doing this even. If you hold down your left shift and click right shift, you notice I just unlocked the doors. If I hold down right shift and left shift, I can lock the doors back. I can turn on my left and right turn signals. So I'm accelerating and with my up arrow, and I'm using the right turn signal with my right arrow, left turn signal. And then you notice I've got some other controls here, X, Y, A, and B. So if I want to unlock a door, for my left door, my right door, left and right for X and Y, front doors, and left and right back doors with A and B. All I have to do is hold down the right shift key. So I'm going to accelerate, and then I'm going to hold down my right shift and hit the X key, and notice that unlocked left back door, A, left front door, B, right front door, or the front passenger side here in the US, and then Y will do the back right door. And if I want to lock those, I just hold down the left shift and then A, B, X, Y. Notice I'm running around 100 miles per hour. Well, I'm sending all of these control packets over the network, and I need a slightly bigger window, about 40 lines tall, to be able to see all of these and keep them on the same screen. So I might need to shrink the font size down a little bit. But this is the actual messaging of a noisy, and your car is noisy because there are all kinds of signals and things being sent over the wires in your car, even when you're not pressing any controls. And then when you start using your car, you really do get a lot of noise on the network. But we can safely simulate a controller area network in a car, or a car network. There we go, look at that. So we can turn left and right, we're accelerating. We can hold down the right shift and unlock the A, B doors and X, Y doors, or hold down the left shift and lock those back, or hold down left shift and tap right shift to unlock them all, hold down right shift and tap left shift to lock them all back. In the next lesson, we're going to see how to record this and play it back. A very simple attack, a replay hack or a replay attack, is when we capture some packets going over a network, in this case a CAN network in our car, and then we replay it later to have the same effect or run the same controls. We'll see that in the next lesson.